walking, walking beneath streetlights. I've been walking, cause I can't find peace on these nights. I've been walking, but my strides are getting slower. Still I'm walking, but I don't know where I'm going. I've been looking for love, but only found deception. Told my secrets to some people who have not kept them.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Thank you all for watching the show. I welcome you to the first edition of Finding Your Will to Survive show. And I am your host, Raynaldo Alexander. How's everybody doing today? You may sit. I know I got a standing ovation. I hope all is well with everybody. Hello. Hey, Miss Lisa, how are you? Great to see you here. It's a privilege and a pleasure to have you on my first edition of the show. How are you? I just want to, first of all, I want to thank Steve for this opportunity. I tell you, man, this platform is absolutely amazing. It's the only platform of such where you can get education on kidney dialysis all the way around, transplants, dietitian information, and also be encouraged by Ray. This is the Finding Your Will to Survive show. I am your host, Raynaldo Alexander. It's a pleasure to have you here. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I had a blessed and productive day. I tell you, last 7 days on my end has been absolutely hectic, long, unbearable hours. But nevertheless, I'm here and the show must go on, right? So let me ask you this question. Hypothetical questions for everybody. If you've ever felt like giving up, have you? Let's see. Maybe have you ever felt like hiding? What about not getting out of bed? You ever felt like that? How about throwing in the towel? I know that's a big one. Have you ever felt like throwing in the towel? Have you ever felt so low that you couldn't even crawl? Have you ever felt like that? What about just simply being too frustrated to even speak? If you've ever felt like that, any of those things, I tell you, this show is for you. The platform that's provided, you get all type of educational information about kidney transplants. I just want to give a big hoorah for all the kidney warriors that may be here with me tonight sharing. Share this. If you would, share this. And I want you to communicate with me. Even though I can't see it, I will go back and read the comments. Man, I'm going to try my best. You all help me to get about 200 plus comments. About 200 plus comments. I want to go back and be overloaded with comments. So if I was before you, I'd be asking you questions to get you to kind of, go back and forth with me to kind of engage you. But since this is a media platform and outlet, I ask that if something is said that touches you the smallest bit, it empowers you, encourages you, why don't you hashtag it and put it in the comment section? Can you do that for me? All right. I appreciate it. Noah, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just talking. I'm going to give a time for a few more people to actually log on. If you know me personally, how about just give me a thumbs up and say, hey, Ray, or something. Let me see you. Again, I appreciate you. This is the Finding Your Will to Survive show, and I am your host, Raynaldo Alexander. And today, it's the first edition, and I tell you, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I am excited. And my intention for this show really is literally to give you nuggets of inspiration, of hope, and impact your life, empower your life. And I need you to share this show, if you would. Share this show. I'll be with you every Tuesday, the Finding Your Will to Survive show. Today, we'll be talking about be greater. Yeah, simply just be greater. And if you ever felt like one of these questions I've asked, then of course you've had opportunity in your life to just be greater. And that's the topic. Be greater. If you would, go ahead and hashtag be greater for me. Be greater. Be greater. You also can find my page at Finding Your Will to Survive if you wanted to reach out afterwards. At the symbol at Finding Your Will to Survive, all together, no spaces. But today we're going to talk about, and as I attempt to encourage you, from the topic of be greater. So I want all y'all to do me a favor. If you would, take your right finger and place it over your right ear. Yeah, that's right. I need your support. Engage with me. Take your right finger, place it over your right ear, and say these words. Actually say them. Be greater. Say it again. Be greater. So the reason I had you to touch your ear and say be greater is because I wanted it to go in one ear and not come out the other. I wanted it to go in one ear and not come out the other. Yeah, you can go ahead and laugh. I know that's a good one. I can't take the credit for it, though. I got that from Les Brown, but it's pretty good. I laugh every time I think about it. All right. So now that we know that be greater, you said it, you've announced it, you've declared it, you're sitting in the atmosphere, and it's stuck right there because you had your finger right there, and it's stuck right there. So I want you to do one more other thing for me. If you're looking at a computer screen, or however, if you were looking at a phone, take that phone and put it all the way up to your face to where it's touching your nose. Or if you're looking at a computer screen, put your face all the way up to it, all the way up to it. Actually touch the screen with the tip of your nose. All right. I'm going to believe that you've actually done that. So, what I just established with the holding your ear and saying be greater, and that it's locked inside because it's in and then come back out the other side, is that you must be able to hear to retain. You must be able to hear to retain, and you have to be able to listen to perform. Yes, hear to retain, listen to perform. All right? So, by putting your nose to your screen or holding your phone up, what I just did was I established this fact. Sometimes you are too close to your situation to actually be able to see clearly. So if you actually perform what I asked, you'll find out that when you put your phone up to your face, the screen got blurry and you couldn't actually see as clear as you could once there was some distance. So I did that to establish this fact. As Les Brown said, you can't see the picture by being in the frame. Sometimes you have to take the testimonies of others, the words of others, to be able to lead and guide you when situations are literally too tough that you can't see clearly. Sometimes you can get hit so hard by life that you're in a daze and you can't see clearly. So when that happens, you must rely on the testimonies and the words of other people that's actually been there and done that to lead and guide you so that you may stay on the right course. I'll take an offering up on that one. That's good if I do say so myself. That's pretty good. I'll take an offering on that. If I was with you or we was in church somewhere, I'd tell you to give your neighbor a high five and just tell them, I need you. I need you to survive. Look at the other side, give them a high five and say, I need you to survive. Yeah. So today's topic is, again, be greater. Hopefully I made you smile. And you'd be surprised how just a little smile acts as medicine to your heart. Some people probably hadn't smiled all day. So be greater. As I think about actually being greater, I think about all the times where I could have personally been greater. The times I've dealt with a depression, the time when I was lonely, the times when I was sad, the times when I didn't want to get out of bed, I didn't roll out of bed, all the times where I felt like the world was on my shoulder and had literally breaking me down. And I had fallen so low that I wasn't even able to crawl. Those were opportunities that I could have had to be greater. Likewise, those are opportunities that if you're facing now, you have the opportunity to be greater. So just be greater. I want you to know this, that when things happen in your life, these things happen for a reason. And in every show, whether you're dealing with kidney problems, heart problems, bankruptcy, marital problems, whatever the issue is, I believe that this is the right time and the right place to where you yourself can find some type of encouragement. And even if you're at the point to where you're in survival mode, you can find your will to survive. This is that place. So my intention is to distract you, to dispute, and to inspire. To distract, dispute, and inspire. What do you mean? So my purpose is to literally distract you from your present or past pain, that you may be not only able to see that particular pain at that time, but you may be able to be inspired by the possibilities that could be. So when I give my testimony or I share, I'm talking from my personal experiences and not literally from something that somebody told me, a book that I read. I may use a book for some type of references. In fact, I'll probably use the Bible pretty often. So my intention is to distract you, to dispute, and to inspire you. I want to distract you from what you're feeling. All the hurt, the pain, feeling down, suppressed, depressed, whatever it is. I want to distract you. I want to dispute the facts of that particular reality, because it is your reality. No one has the right or the ability to tell you how you should feel, how you should act. It's your reality. It's your life. Your feet are in your shoes. Nobody else knows how it feels to be you. We may have similar stories, but we can't truly identify with you because we're not in your shoes. But I want to dispute the facts that you currently are living in, dispute literally the current circumstances, and I want to dispute it, and I want to give you the opportunity that your eyes may be open to see the possibilities of what can be. Because sometimes, you all know, we can be going through so much, and man, we have a problem. We can't see clearly. We can't hear words of inspiration and guidance. Like, we literally need help. So I want to, with my testimony and with this show, I want to inspire you. Inspire you. That's my job. I want to inject hope into the hearts and souls of your body. I want to inject hope into your veins, that you may be able to declare those things like faith that be not as though they were. That even though the situation may look crazy and it hurts, but you will be able to speak those things that be not as though they were by faith. So that's my intentions, to inject the hope into your mind, into your heart and soul, that you may be able to see beyond your right now, that you may be able to tap into your imaginative mind and declare, I can speak those things that be not as though they were, that you will be able to declare that eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love him. I want you to understand that just like me, my willingness to share my testimony and to speak, so much power in it. I need you to understand and to be encouraged that you're not going through anything you're going through just because. That ultimately it's going to work out something good. Ultimately, it's going to impact lives if you're willing to share. You possess the key to unlock a new world of possibilities to people if you'll just open up your mouth, if you will share, if you will find the strength to move past and beyond your current circumstances, that you possess that key. You have it, just like I have it. You possess the ability to unlock somebody's life and ignite their story and to ignite destiny, to cause their life to launch forward with power. You possess that key with your story. You possess the key to give people a new mind, that they may not hold on to the present pain, that they can see beyond it, and they can open up their eyes to something new, something brand new that they not even phantom or couldn't even begin to see and understand. That's the power of your testimony. So the Bible says this, that the enemy is defeated by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. So I ask myself this, what is an enemy to me? The same thing that's the enemy to you. Depression is the enemy. Guess what? You have the ability, guess what? To be over that thing. Lamp, the word, your testimony, your life has the ability to shine light on what is seemingly dark situations. How is that possible? I'm glad you asked me. Frequent thoughts of quitting, that's an enemy. It's come to stop and delay something. Frequent thoughts of suicide. How about being mentally weak? That's an enemy. I see being mentally weak as an enemy. I was once there, didn't know if I was coming, didn't know if I was going. Downright tired. What about that? Have you ever felt like that? Downright tired? In fact, you've surpassed that. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Have you ever been there? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Guess what? Just like you felt that way, there's countless of other people, man, that's just gone through and had a hard time in life. And they felt like that as well. They feel like that even now. Possibly somebody watching. So if you're watching right now and you feel that way, I'm just tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. If it ain't one thing, it's another. If it's the struggle with dialysis, if it's bad sticks every time you look around, maybe your access site has been clouded, you got to get another surgery. I've been there, done that. I've had up to 92 staples from the top of my wrist down underneath my arms. One surgery. Surgery here, surgery there. Yes, I've even had one through my neck come down. Maybe you see it may look like a gunshot wound or something. So when I say I know how it feels to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, I know, trust me, I know how it feels. Because to get to that point, it's not just one thing. It's something over and over and over and over and over and over. It's a cycle. And oftentimes when it happens, when you begin to feel that way, it normally comes at a time when you're really fighting. You're fighting. You're trying to do better. You're trying to overcome. You're trying to be positive. You're trying to do the right thing. Like you're giving it everything you got. Boom. One blow. Before you can even recover from that, boom. Another blow. Before you can even recover from that, boom. Another blow. And you all know my story, those that have watched. It was on last week. At the early age of 26, I was diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease. Athlete, fresh out the Marine Corps, trained firefighter. Being healthy and being strong was all I knew. Faced depression. 3 weeks into dialysis, my ex-wife left. Ain't saying she left because of dialysis, because we had our other issues, but I needed her there. Loneliness, I fought it. Lost everything in a house fire. Back to back to back to back to back. Talking about being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah, that was me. Have you ever felt like that? Is that you now? If you feel like that, just hashtag that's me. And it's all good. Because today, when this is all said and done, you will be inspired. You will be encouraged. And when you turn that screen off, you're going to be refreshed and you're going to be revived and recharged, ready to re-tackle that problem. Because you know as well as I know, after words of encouragement, whether you be in church, whether you be with a friend, whether you watching some show on YouTube, wherever the source of the inspiration or motivation comes, once you turn it off, the reality of what you're facing is still right there. That's why I started out with saying, here to what? Retain and listen to perform. Because you got to retain the information and you got to perform it. Faith without works is dead. It's moving. Faith in action. You got to perform it. So now that I understand that I'm not by myself, I can't see your comments, but I'm assuming there's some comments, some hands up, some fingers, some praying or something. Need you to comment. I'm assuming I'll go back and read that. So now, refreshed. Thank you, Kenya. Now that I know I'm not by myself, we can move on. So you might want to know, like I asked, how can you do that? Like how can I use my story to impact and empower people when I'm feeling like giving up myself? How can I stand strong and stand firm when I'm facing thoughts and struggling with suicide and depression myself? How is it? How is it can I transform lives when I need my life transformed right now? How can you do that? I'm glad you asked. I'm going to share this with you. Faith, focus, and follow through. Hashtag that for me. Faith, focus, and follow through. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says this: faith is taking the first step when you can't even see the staircase. There were times when I was facing depression within the first few months and couple of years before I got my breakthrough. There were times when I was hooked up to the machine for 4 hours. I was on there 4 hours, 3 days a week. And I would have to move next to the next seat once I finished or go across the floor to encourage somebody else that was on the same machine to not give up when I wanted to give up myself. I had to inspire people to live when I was struggling if I wanted to live myself. Yes, you will be put in situations to where the very thing that you need, somebody else will need it as well. And when you've been created to inspire and to impact, when you've been created to do that, you don't have to find them, they'll find you. And when they find you, it's up to you to get what's in you and to give it to them because they need it. But the most amazing thing happens. This is what I found out happened to me. The more I encouraged somebody else when I needed encouraged, the thing that I gave them was the thing that came back to me. What do you mean? Okay, hang in there, man. You can do it. Your life has purpose. Bro, you were created for a reason. This is not a death sentence. When all the while I was seeing, my situation as a death sentence. I was seeing, myself as this weak vessel that needed help. But I extended help. I gave help. And an exchange happened. The more I began to impact and inspire and encourage people, the more of my words that I gave to them, I began to receive myself. So the very gift, I said that to say this, the very gift that you have, if you're willing to share it, will become the very medicine that you yourself will get yourself. The gift that you give and share to the world will ultimately come back into your life and will be the inspiration that you need. If you need hope, give words of hope to somebody. If you need to be inspired, inspire somebody. If you need to be encouraged, encourage somebody. And you'll find out that this is a fact, that the more you encourage and inspire, the more you attempt to impact other people's lives, the more your very same words that you gave out comes back into your life, and you find out that the hope that you needed was inside of you all the while. The inspiration that you needed was inside of you the whole while. The encouragement that you looked for and you longed for, that encouragement was inside of you the whole while. It was inside of you the whole while. You had to open up your mouth and be willing to share. Make up your mind to push and not give up. To push and not give up in spite of. If you got to crawl, keep crawling. You may not go at a full sprint, but give it what you got. Whatever it is, you need to give it that. And be a blessing and impact and inspire people all around the world. Everything that's happened to you, everything that's happened to you, involving you, has been purposeful. Everything that's happened in your life has been purposeful. No, you don't always understand it as you're going through it. You don't always see it as you're going through it. After all, how can something good come out of a life sentence, as I saw it, of being on dialysis, the age of 26? I can imagine the young lady that's been sexually abused as a young child somewhere thinking, how can something good come out of this? That lonely person sitting in their living room because the spouse has left out thinking, how can something good come out of this? Or maybe that person sitting there with that 12-gauge shotgun rocking back and forth, trying to find a reason to live, or trying to see if they want to continue living with the weight of of life that's on their shoulder they're bearing. How can something good come out of this? You don't always see it when you're going through it. In fact, you're blinded. You can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. You can't figure out how in the world something good, something positive and impactful can come out of this. That's why you got to connect with like-minded people. Iron sharpens iron. You got to connect with people that's going to be able to speak words of faith into your life. Connect with people that's going to be able to inspire you. I'm going to tell you this story. Just a little short story. You may have found yourself being just like me that was in this little story. But I was traveling somewhere, going from point A to point B. The journey was long. The path was long from state to state. And I got tired. I got sleepy. And I wanted to go to sleep. The road didn't seem so clear as it was when I began. I was tired. But there was somebody riding with me. And they knew my destination. They knew where I was going. They had actually been there before. So I decided to take a nap and get some sleep. And the person that was riding with me took the wheel and drove. When I was sleeping and couldn't see, I was tired, I needed to get some rest, they drove the rest of the way. I said that to say this. Connect with people that's on the same path as you, that's going in the same direction as you. Because sooner or later, you're going to need somebody to get the wheel and go when you can't go. You're going to need them to pray for you when you can't pray for yourself. You're going to need them to believe for you when you can't believe in yourself. And sometimes it takes somebody else's belief in you. Sometimes it takes you to believe in that belief of you before you can actually believe in yourself. So you need to connect with people. Yeah, that's important. Connect with people that's been where you're trying to go. Your circle is important. It's vital. It's vital to your survival. It's vital to your success. You're trying to get to an executive level in a Fortune 500 company? You know, what do you just need to be encouraged because of a kidney disease or a sickness or something? Regardless of what it is, roll with people that's being where you're trying to go. Because when you get tired, and you will, when you get tired, you're going to need somebody to look out after you. You're going to need somebody to look out after you, to inspire you, to tell you to hang in there, to pat you on the back, to pray for you, to carry you, to walk with you when life hits. And life will hit. You're going to need to be riding with somebody that's going where you're trying to go. That's important. Something I want to share with you, and it may seem kind of, it may seem, kind of strange. Some of you probably gonna be amazed that I even know this. Country boy raised up in a small town of Mansfield, Louisiana, where my people made things homemade. Pancakes were made. Were homemade. We didn't have Bisquick and all of that stuff. Homemade biscuits, homemade cakes, and this is what I want to share with you. Watch how it all come together, but I need you to follow me, because I promise you, Miss Lisa Baxter, I promise you, Steve, I promise you that if you can get this is gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life. I want to share with you the recipe of a homemade 7-Up cake. I can imagine the look on some of y'all faces. A homemade 7-Up cake. Some of you probably never heard of it. Some of you have tasted, and you know that it's so good. And yes, it is. So, the ingredients goes as such. You start out with 3 sticks of butter. 3 is the magic number, okay? 3 is the magic number. And it's okay if y'all want to write this down, that's cool. I'll share this with you. But it's going to bless your life. It's going to be good if you make it, but it's going to bless your life as well. 3 sticks of butter, 3 cups of sugar. You blend it in, beat it in. 5 eggs, 3 teaspoons of lemon pepper. Beat it in. 3 cups of all-purpose flour and about 3/4 a cup of 7-Up. I'll share it again. You need 3 sticks of butter, 3 cups of sugar, 5 eggs, 3 teaspoons of lemon flavor, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and you need 3/4 cups of 7-Up. So, I'm laughing because I know you're thinking, where is he going with this? How's this related to the show, Finding Your Will to Survive? Like, how is this related to the topic of the day, Be Greater? Glad you asked. This is how it relates. So, all the ingredients is placed in a bowl, and it's beat together. It's blended in, it's beat. It's called beater. You got the little, you may call it a mixer. You got the mixer, and you got the 2 little beetle deals in there. You put it in there, and you mash it, and it stir. But it beats all the ingredients in together. It beats all the ingredients together. And I want you to know that every ingredient is necessary. If you take one simple thing out, then you change the fact that it's a 7-Up cake. That's what I want to say. You change it. put a different flavor in there, it's no longer 7-Up cake. You put something different in besides the 7-Up cake, and it's no longer a 7-Up cake. You take out the sugar, and I promise you, it won't be good. Take out the flour. What I'm trying to tell you is that the ingredients are necessary. The kidney dialysis, that was an ingredient in my life, and it was necessary. End-stage kidney disease at a young age, when I was at the top physical fit of my life, it was an ingredient that was necessary. Loneliness was necessary. Depression was necessary. Think about right now everything you've gone through in your life. Think about it. Think about everything that's hurt you. Think about everything that's taken you out. Think about the people you've lost, maybe to death or they walk out. Think about all the stabs you've had in the back. Think about all the times you fell flat on your face and didn't want to move. Think about it. Those were individual ingredients. And when your life has been beat up with all these different ingredients, when you've been beat up by life, I was beat up by life with end-stage kidney disease. I was beat up with life, with depression and suppression. I was beat up. So once you beat those ingredients up, you put it in a cake pan and you put it in the oven. So when you're beat up by life and your life, in your life, the heat has been turned up. Today, one thing gets another. The heat been turned up on your life. Surgery after surgery, the heat been turned up on your life. People walked out on you. The heat been turned up on your life. Somebody misused you. The heat has been turned up on your life. Lost loved ones, the heat has been turned up on your life. When the heat is turned up on all the ingredients on your life, something good is created. When you take the ingredients beat up, pour it into a cake pan, laced with shortening, flour put in, you tap it out, smooth it out. Yeah, I know. When your life has been beat up with everything you can think of, and you've been thrown in the fire, I need you to know that it was purposeful, that something good is being created. And the awesome thing about a 7-Up cake is having other people taste it. Everything you've gone through in your life, when you had to stand still, when the heat was turned up on your life, when you had to take it, when you had to take the heat, something good was being created on the inside of you. Something good was being created. You came out with a story. You came out with experiences. Your experience gave birth to a story. Your story gave birth to a testimony. And when you begin to open up your mouth and share your testimony will bring birth to inspiration all over the world. It'll bring birth to inspiring people all over the world. It's going to bring birth to great things. People will taste of your life and they'll see that something was good. No, it didn't feel good. None of that I said felt good. I wasn't smiling in any of it. I didn't know if I wanted to live while I was in the midst of it. No, it didn't feel good. But something was working that was for my good. Something was working that was for your good. Because now, I believe that I was created for a purpose and a reason. I believe that when I share my story, because everything I've gone through, every ingredient added to my life was added for a specific purpose. I believe that every time I open my mouth and share, that somebody's being inspired. I believe that the shackles are being broken off somebody. I believe blinders are being pulled from their eyes. And when they were in the middle of a situation that they couldn't see their way out. The situation could be the same. But when I tell my testimony or I share words of inspiration, I believe that the words of my mouth have the power and ability to cause them to see with a new light. Be in the same situation, but perception of it changes. And when your perception of it changes the whole outcome. I changed the perception of being on dialysis while I was on dialysis. I got to a point that I didn't care about living a long life. I know we all want to live a long life. I know. But I was more concerned with living a productive life. It was more important to me to be productive, even if it was for a short time, than to be non-productive and live a long time. That was my mindset. I was anytime I could help out, I was impacting people's lives left and right through physical transformation of their bodies, which ultimately led to a transformation in their mind, that they could be in the same or the bad situation, and because their perspective of it changed, ultimately changed everything else physically around it. Everything I touched began to change for the better. Everything they touched began to change for the better. Then they begin to share their story. And their story became that beacon of light that people needed. And how many other people were impacted that we don't even know of? See, the attack on your life, you can't take it personal. The attack is not on you personal. It's not on you personally. The attack is on your gift. The attack is on the assignment on your life. The attack is on your mind to get you to give up and quit. Because you don't even realize that your story has the power to change generations unheard the time. You don't even realize it. You don't realize that you can tell your story. Even if you're hurting, you can tell your story. Even in tears, you can tell your story. Even when you're waiting breakthrough yourself, you can tell your story. And as you tell your story, it causes a change in the lives of people. It causes a change in their mind. And their lives are impacted forever. Their lives are impacted forever. See, everybody has a story. Everybody has something to say. That's right. Everybody has a gift. If it's just simply hugging people, if it's simply offering your services, if it's simply writing letters, whatever it is, you have a story. And when you share that story, amazing things happen. So I'm recalling in my mind right now a particular story in the Bible where I think it said that Jesus fed 5,000 men. It did not include women, and it did not include children. 5,000 men. And when a lad gave up a couple of fish and a little bit of bread, those 5,000 men, not including women and children, they were fed. And it was so much. They were so satisfied. They got all they could take. And there was some left over. The Bible said it was a lad. Now, I begin to think about that. Some child gave the little that they had. And it was a blessing to thousands. I don't believe that they were the only one, that child was the only one that had a little fish and bread. If you take a group of 5,000 men and add women and children, the odds of that many people having on a red shirt, it's going to be more than one with a red shirt. A gray shirt, it's going to be more than one with a gray shirt. 5, 6, brown skin, long head. It's going to be more in that group of thousands that fit that description. How about tall, dark, and handsome? It's going to be more than one person that fit that description in the middle of thousands. How about people with kidney problems? It's going to be more than one. What I'm saying is, I believe that that child was the only one that was willing to give what they had. And if you're willing to give the very little that you have, the very little that you have is plenty enough to be a blessing to thousands upon thousands. But I just need you to be willing to give. I need you to be willing to share. I need you to make up in your mind that you won't quit, that you won't stop. I need you to do that. Because see, as I'm sharing my story, as I'm talking, I believe that you've been distracted. As I'm talking, I don't believe that you're thinking about your current situation. But I believe that you're thinking about the possibility of what can. If that little short, brown, long-haired dude can lose everything he thought and kept was valuable, everything he sacrificed for, if he can lose it and face dialysis for 5 years, begin to impact people's lives all over the world, if he can do it, if he can do it, if he can receive a kidney transplant on his birthday, if he can do it, I can do it. And what happens is when you're distracted and you begin to look at the possibilities of what can be, it creates a gap. And within that gap is what you're facing with right now. Somebody's listening to me. There's a gap being created. And in that gap is the opportunity to make a decision, which will be the most profound and important decision of your life. And that is the decision to not give up. The decision to find your will to survive, your why you can't give up, why you can't quit, why you can't get knocked down and stay down. There's a gap, and you have the opportunity. You have the opportunity right now to make a decision to not quit because it's bigger than you. You got a decision to make. You must find your will to survive. There's a gap right now. Make that decision. Yes, I know it hurts. Yes, I know it's tough. Tough times require tough people, and you've been selected to be one of the tough people. Yes, in the middle of everything you're dealing with, you must decide not to quit. You must decide not to give up. You must decide not to tuck your tail. You're facing a Y in the road. You go left or you go right. Fight or flight moment. You got to make a decision. Whether you're going to fight this thing or you're going to run from it. If you run from it, you take the key that somebody needs to ignite their life. You take that key with you. But if you decide to fight, if you decide to stand and to fight and to persist, pursue, if you decide not to give up right now, if you decide to push, you give somebody the opportunity to live. See, that's everybody has their own different story, and it's somebody that you can impact that I can't. Everybody has someone that they can reach and impact that somebody else can. When you decide to fight, when you decide not to give up, when you decide to push and give it everything you got with tears in your eyes, on the floor, crawling, when you decide, even if you got to cry at night, to smile in the daytime, when you decide not to quit, you become a blessing to the world. All from your decision not to quit. I need you to know this. I'm thinking about, before I go to that, so if something has been said, once again, to impact you or touch you, hashtag it. I am not a quitter. Appreciate it, Rudy. Rudy, you are not a quitter. You are a fighter. Never give up. This blessing me. Thank you, Asante. I hope I didn't destroy your name. I hope I said it right. I'm going to show you how it all comes together. When all the ingredients of your life come together, I'm about to show you. Yeah, and I said yeah, country boy talk coming out. I'm about to show you how when it all comes together, when it makes a 360. Yeah, I know 360 means when it comes back around, making a full circle. First, you make a 180. When you make that 180, it means that you've turned things have turned around for your good. You see things with a new light, that 180. But when it keeps coming back around on that 360 degree, that means that what once hurt you, what once was used to ultimately destroy your gift or cause you to give up, it comes all the way around to a full circle. And now the very thing that almost took you out becomes the very thing or word of empowerment that somebody else needed. When I was in the Marine Corps, and I'm going to get back to what I was saying, but when I was in the Marine Corps, so We had this particular type of training where if we were faced with ride control, a ride, and we had to use means of ride control. We had bean bags and we had pepper spray and all of these things that law officers use in order to gain control of people in a ride. And in order to be certified, qualified, and certified to use this particular thing, you must first had it used on you. So we had to be pepper sprayed to know how it feels. Yeah, somebody see where I'm going with this. We had to get shot and hit with the beanbag to know how it feels. Yeah, yeah. The very thing that you're going through right now, the very thing, everything of your past, every hurt, every trial, every tribulation, every challenge, the thing that's beat you down the most, that thing is just a prerequisite. Prerequisite, something that's needed before. Prerequisite. That thing is just a prerequisite for walking in what I call a power of attorney. A power of attorney is when you have the legal right and authority to write and authorize somebody, your name, in behalf of somebody else's name. Or you can write their name as if they wrote it. Legal document. There's somebody who's praying for peace. The clouds aren't going to part. I hope I'm not offending anybody when I say this. The clouds aren't going to part. It's not going to be a streak of light that comes through the air to give you peace or strength or to bring you or give you your breakthrough. But it's going to come from somebody who's faced some hard times in their life and they decided to be tough and make the decision not to quit. And their words of the words of their testimony is going to be the hope that you've been praying for. Their story is going to be the key to unlock your mind and pull the blinders off. Your prayers will be answered by somebody who's decided to push through and not give up. In order for you to be over or qualified over a thing, you must first know how it feels. I have friends that reach out to me to talk to and to be a life coach to family members that are going through dialysis or they're expected to be face dialysis. Why? Because they don't have the words or the story or the experience to speak those words to them that will be impactful, that it'll give them life. You wouldn't go to a dentist for heart surgery. You wouldn't see a nephrologist for a foot ache. You're being set up, is what I'm saying. What are you going through right now? What are you experiencing? What is it that you're going through that's causing you to think that you want to quit? It's a setup. Because as you're going through it, you got to decide to grow in it. And when you grow in what you're going through, you come out with a qualification, a certification. You come out with a power of attorney to be able to impact other people's lives that are going through the same thing. That's a powerful thing. That is powerful. Going back to, you thought I had forgot. I know it. Going back to the ingredients. When all the ingredients are together, when all the ingredients come together to work out something good, it causes a change in you. One, you become identified. The very thing that almost destroyed me mentally and physically became the very thing that introduced me to my real self. It almost took me out. Before I thought I had faith. Before I thought I was strong. No. My foundation was literally broken down and destroyed. New faith was implanted. New hope. I learned patience. Character got built. In the process of everything you're going through, so much is being added to you. As things are being extracted, things are being added. Weak things are being extracted. Stronger things are being added. Uncertainty is being extracted. Confidence and faith is being added. Something good is worked out. I'm thinking about now a summons. When you go through everything that you've gone through, when you decided, when you made that mental note in your mind that I'm not going to give up, I'm going to hold on to this thing like a bulldog, and I'm going to hold on to it. I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to hold on to my faith. I'm going to hold on to words of inspiration and other people's testimony. I'm going to hold on to hope. I'm going to hold on to it. And I'm going to push to it with passion. Everything in me. I'm going to have an unstoppable desire. And I'm going to push. I'm going to push. I'm going to pursue. With everything in me. Everything. Things begin to happen. This is what happens. As you're minding your business, doing you, there'll be a summons. There'll be a summons for you and for your gift. What in the world is he talking about? There'll be a summons. What in the world is he talking about? So, one dictionary said it like this. A summons is a call by authority to appear at the place named or to attend the duty. A call by authority to appear at a place named or to attend the duty. There'll be a call. There'll be a summons. Somebody's going to need what you have. Somebody's going to need what you're a carrier of. Somebody's going to need it. And it'll be a summons for it. I'm just here to tell you. You're going to wonder why is it that everything that seemed to get you down, now people are finding you. They're calling you. They're looking you out. Why? Because it's bigger than information. We can all get on Google and get information, but it's more about your passion. It's more about your energy. You know, Google does not give passion. It'll give information, but you can't get passion. You can't get energy. I'm thinking about now, it's a Bible story. I'm thinking about when the prophet was sent to anoint one of Jesse's boys as king. I remember they hosted a ceremony, and the prophet went through all of the sons, starting with the biggest, strongest, the one that just looked like he was it. Yeah. And he went through all of the sons. Said, surely there must be another one. And he said, well, yeah, there is David. He back there tending to the sheep. So now tending to the sheep was a job not wanted or desired by anybody. It was mostly given to the youngest of the sons. So here David was, somebody who was not invited to the ceremony, somebody that's been counted out and looked over. Let me talk to you. If you've ever been counted out, if you've ever been looked over, let me talk to you. That was a problem. That was a problem stirring up. There was a king by the name of King Saul. He had a spirit of even depression on him. The magistrates and stuff, they found magicians, they found tricksters. This is the king, so they found the best of the best to try to cause him to laugh, to try to withdraw this evil spirit from, and nothing worked. Nothing worked. And somebody said, you know what? I remember a young boy who plays an instrument that's very skilled and he's very anointed. And the king sent them to get David. What was David? Tending to his business. He was doing him. Even though he'd been looked over, even though he'd been looked over countless times. But the king, that the prophet had come to anoint him. What did he do? He validated him. Your experiences has validated you. There's something great on the inside of you. There's a problem arising that nobody else's gift would suffice but yours. You are a carrier of something great. And you can expect great people to get ready to call you because they need your services. Somebody need what you got to say. Somebody desires your testimony. Somebody needs to hear why you didn't give up and how it is that you decided to go when you didn't want to go. Somebody needs to hear it. There was a summons for the anointing that was on David's life. There was a summons for David. That's why I told you earlier that the attack is not on you personally. It's on your gift. It's on your mind that you will make the decision to quit and give up yourself. But you're bigger than that. You're greater than that. I believe you got to be greater. Be greater than you was on yesterday. Be greater tomorrow than you is on today. Make up in your mind to not quit. Make up in your mind to not give up. Make up in your mind to hold fast and to hold strong to words of inspiration and other people's testimony when you can't see yourself. Make up in your mind to hold on to it. That these words and testimonies, words of inspiration can lead and guide you because you've been hit so hard by life that you're dazed. And in fact, sometimes when you begin to talk to people, it's certain things you can say because you hurt so bad, you don't even know and have the words to know how to say it. I know you out there, and I know I'm speaking to you. I know it. I know I'm not by myself. I know I'm not the only one that's felt like that. I know I'm not the only one that was left for dead. I know it. I know I'm not the only one that was on a ship, on a journey, and there was a storm and only made it to shore on a piece. I'm talking to somebody right now that's on a piece, traveling on this ship in life, on this journey of life. And so much has happened. And you're struggling and you're fighting for your life, mentally and physically. And it seems as if you're holding on a piece. You're making it to shore on a piece. You ride that piece to shore. You keep on paddling. You keep on holding. Even if you get snake bit and everybody around you is looking, waiting for you to die, you're not. That's greater than you. That's more. That's more. That's more of you. You got to be greater. Don't give up where you are. Don't stall out where you are. Don't get stagnated in your mind. Don't connect with these people that's going to read and speak words of faith to you, that you may be inspired, that you may be helped, that they may tell their story, that you may be distracted, disputed, and inspired, that you may be distracted by the current circumstances that you're in, the facts of those circumstances disputed by the truth and the reality of the possibilities what can be. Let that inspire you. Let that encourage you. Let that be that little empowerment, that nugget of power that you need to just make another step. And I promise you, if you can find it within yourself to fight and not give up, if you can find your will to survive, if you can find your reason why, if you can find it, if you can find your will to survive and make the next step and not give up, things will get better. But it starts with your perception. Things can get better. Thank you all for tuning in to Finding Your Will to Survive with Raynaldo Alexander. I bless you. Bless you. I'm so grateful, and I believe with everything in me that something was said that's impacted your life. I believe that when you get off this channel, you'll be able to share something with somebody else, and the same way you felt, they'll begin to feel also. Share this, like this page, like my page, share this, and tune in with us next Tuesday at Finding Your Will to Survive with your host, Raynaldo Alexander. And just know that tonight you have been encouraged by Ray. Blessings, peace, and power be unto you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, I've been walking beneath streetlights. I've been walking, cause I can't find peace on these nights. I've been walking, but my strides are getting slower. Still I'm walking, but I don't know where I'm going. I've been looking for love, but only found deception. Told my secrets to some people who have not kept them.